All right, Congressman Jim Jordan joins us tonight. And, sir, it's good to have you back on the show. I guess we shouldn't be surprised that the government is lying to the American people again, but this certainly shows why it was so critical for Nancy Pelosi to not allow people like you on this J6 committee, to hand select people like Cheney and Kinzinger as the, quote, Republicans, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, we knew the way this thing was set up. We weren't going to get a fair shake. We weren't going to get the truth. We caught them in multiple. I caught them in multiple lies just about me. A text message I had forwarded, they said came from me when it wasn't. I forwarded. It was a lawyer, former inspector general for Don Rumsfeld, a lawyer at Patton Boggs that put together this short brief, and I forwarded that to the White House. Oh, Jim Jordan is. I mean, they lied about all kinds of things. And of course, then Cassidy Hutchinson's testimony, and I think where talked about the Secret Service or President Trump jumping across the Secret Service to grab this. It just didn't happen. Things that did not happen that they allowed someone to say, and then kept other interviews, other witness testimony from we the people. I think again just underscores how biased, how political, how wrong this whole J6 committee was.
And the fact that, I mean, they are going to run the entire presidential campaign on that day. Joe Biden is going to run almost entirely on January 6th. He doesn't have a lot of good news to tell people, so he's got to run on fear of Trump getting back into power, which we know January 6th was the greatest thing they could have asked for. They only wish it was worse.
You saw that last week in the State of the Union address. First, he's 20 minutes late getting here. Then it takes him 10 minutes to walk down the aisle. The first thing he brings up is a foreign country in our state, a state of our union. He brings up a foreign country. Then the next subject is January 6th, and the next subject is abortion. You know what they're going to run on, because they can't talk about all the crazy things they've done that have driven up the price of everything, that have unsecured our border where we basically have no border. They can't talk about those issues, so they're going to talk about January 6th, abortion, and Ukraine, for goodness sake.
And the motivation for this, I mean, for Liz Cheney to make a conscious effort to keep exculpatory evidence in a committee that we already knew was sham. I mean, you had nobody working for the other side in this committee. It was all on one side, and they're concealing evidence. I mean, that to me is, and I mean, what do you do about this? I mean, is there anything that can be done?
No. I think that's a good point, Rob. This is the first committee that I've ever seen. I've been in Congress 17 years. First committee I've ever seen when there was no cross-examination element to it. No ability from the other side to cross. It was all one side. You never have that in a select committee or any of the standing committees. There's always both parties represented. But in this case, there wasn't. And they tried to mislead the American people. Now the truth is beginning to come out more and more.
You just see what they're willing to do to get rid of this man, why they're so threatened by this man. It exposes so much about what they really think. And it's got to be waking people up. I want to ask you finally, you sent a letter to CIA Director William Burns requesting information relating to Crossfire Hurricane, obviously the Russia collusion investigation. What exactly are you looking for here?
We're looking from all, I mean, there's been all kinds of problems with the intel community and information that they've put out there. I mean, I go back to the 51 former intel officials and how they put out that statement that said the Hunter Biden laptop was a Russian information operation when that was garbage. So we want to know about this. We want to know about the idea that they were paying foreign sources or going to foreign sources, encouraging them to go spy on President Trump's campaign. We want to get answers to those kind of questions. Because you said it best there, Rob, when you talk about what they will try to do to President Trump to keep him from getting back in office. Because remember, they don't want him back in office because he actually did what he said he was going to do and fought for we the people. But remember what they've done. They spied on his campaign. Then it was Mueller investigation, $30 million, 19 lawyers, all that craziness. Then it was impeachment 1. Then it was the raiding of his home. Then it was the naming of Jack Smith as special counsel. Then it was the 14th Amendment. And if we go back and look at some of these things, you find out the only thing we missed was that oftentimes it's worse than we thought. And that's what we're starting to hear about now, clear back to the spying episode on his 2016 campaign. So we want to get information on that and a whole host of things that we're trying to get from the intelligence community relative to what they've told us that just turned out not to be true.
Yeah. All right. Congressman Jordan, good to see you again, sir. We appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you.